we do have a Big 12 championship game to be played. We have the number 9 Baylor Bears versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is a 4.5-point favorite. Thank you to our Bet Rivers sponsors here. Just some fun facts for you. This is the first time the OSU's been in the Big 12 championship game.
Yes, it is.
Kind of a weird deal there. We got Baylor played, as we mentioned before, OU 2019. They lost 30-23. First game not having OU or Texas in the big show. That's what I want to call it. Since 1998. So this is just again just a total new picture of the Big 12. Again, in a year that we know that we're losing OU and we're losing Texas, and it just seems like the Big 12 is fine. We've got 2 top 10 teams playing in the Big 12 championship. You got to love it. So what are some? And I'm kind of springing this on you. What are some of your keys to the game, just as a fan, as a guy that's just watched these 2 teams progress, mature competitively, and all that kind of stuff? What are some of your keys to the game and pulling out for Baylor, pulling out for Oklahoma State?
Well, I think it's a really good matchup. I think it's easily the 2 best defenses in our league right now.
No doubt.
So it's going to be a defensive battle. I think it's going to come down, and this sounds cliche, but it's really been the key to success for both of these teams all year. Can they take care of the football? And can they flex their muscles, especially in the red zone, when the other team's driving the ball down the field? I think that's what it's going to come down to. I'm honestly, and I will only say this once for you, Bryce.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm very excited to watch the game. Yes. I am thrilled with what Dave Aranda has done. I've mentioned that a million times. I am really just blown away at what Spencer Sanders has been able to do this year. Last year, I went and watched him live against Oklahoma and Bedlam in Norman. And I was like, dude, this dude is trash, man. Like, he's not good at football at all. He's got confidence. He's rolling right now. I think Oklahoma State is a little bit more complete of a team right now, mainly because of health, right?
Yeah, right.
Barry Bohannon, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But I think if Baylor comes out, which they're capable of doing, there's just something about the Baylor culture, going even back to your days. They are really good at creating their own energy, especially on the sideline. So in a neutral site game, I think they'll travel well. I think the Baylor faithful will come in strong. I think the OSU faithful will as well. But I think I'm actually going to give my edge to Baylor in this one, just because of that culture that they've built there. Now, it's dependent on who's playing, what's playing, how they're playing, that kind of stuff. Is Gary Bohannon supposed to be healthy?
Coach Aranda had a presser today that says that it's trending in the right direction, but it most likely will be a.
So that makes me nervous, right? I mean, that's a huge key to victory, in my opinion. He's been awesome for those guys this year, but I just still have this kind of churning in my chest. There's my burp of the day. That Baylor's going to find a way to rise to the occasion.
I love hearing you say it, partner. I really do. I agree, man. I think that this is a really, really well, in terms of just a matchup, this is a great game to watch as a Big 12 fan, because typically this is going to be a 55-52 kind of game, or a 61-58 game for you Baylor fans out there. But defense, as we all know, that's the saying, defense wins championships. I think that you have both defenses playing really well. I know that, as I mentioned in the Tech game earlier, we had a few just kind of gaps in there on a couple series in terms of our defense. But, I mean, between, Jalen Petrie and a couple of these guys, Captain Bernard and Dylan Doyle, they just play together, man, and they don't have – there's not like that guy that's just – a Trayvon Thibodeau, in Oregon, that's just like a wrecker, to come in there. They just play really well together. And Coach Aranda has them bought into the system. It's that competitive maturity that actually came after the Oklahoma State loss in was that week 5 of the year. And so that's the beautiful thing about it. And we never really got to see it until we played in the NFL. Playing a team twice.
It's tough.
It is. It's really weird. The first time, playing with the Jets, the first time you played the Patriots twice, the first time you played Miami twice, it was just like, man, this is weird. But the thing is, it's it's a totally different game. It's so funny because you're playing the same team, but it's a totally different game. So, what we found and what we learned, week 1 versus week 8 versus playing them again, special teams. There's different schemes. There's different tendencies. I know that stuff kind of gets in depth as you kind of get higher up into the to the NFL ranks, but I think that these guys know who they are. They're going to be built on the run. You said it. Can Spencer Sanders play well? Meaning, can he execute and take care of the football? He had 3 picks, last time that we played up in Stillwater together, talking about the Baylor-Oklahoma State game. And there was 0 points off of 3 picks. That's going to be the big thing to me is, can you create turnovers and score and special teams? It's inevitable in these games that special teams will have a play who makes it. So all that being said, I think that, between our front 5 and their front 7, our front 7 versus their front 5, there's going to be battle in the trenches. It's going to be grown man football, and then it's going to be who can make the big play. Whether Gary's in there, whether Blake Shapen's in there. I really do have total confidence in Blake Shapen to come in there and play well. He's very poised. He can run when he needs to. He's got a great arm. If they mix in Tristan Ebner in a couple different places in the formation to just give him opportunities, give him mismatches. I think he is the mismatch on the field to watch. And then, bust the top off with Thornton.
So what's your score prediction?
I got 27-24 Baylor.
Okay, so not a barn burner.
No, I don't think so.
Good defensive game. I'm gonna stick with Baylor, although my mind tells me that just doesn't make any sense.
Mind is telling me no.
But my chest is just telling me Baylor. I don't know why. So I'm gonna go Baylor 38 points.
Wow.
To Oklahoma State 31 points.
I love it. I love it. Win by a touchdown.
That is my matchup.
How about it? It's going to be one in the second half. I do know that. I think it's going to be blows, left and right, big hooks, big uppercuts the first half, and then I think one of the two teams is going to have some success. I don't feel like, to your point, I got a 3-point spread. You got a 7-point. I don't think any team's going to pull away. It's just that, can you make the big play in the second half when you need to? So, man, that's a hell of a season. Our first season.
Our first season together.
It's crazy.
We have made it to the championship weekend. Still more to talk about. This isn't our last show.
Correct.
But we have bowl season ahead of us, which is going to be a lot of fun to cover. But for the Big 12 race, man, this is we've got our 2 teams, and here we go this Saturday. So thank you all who tune in weekly to the Trevor and Bryce show, for following along, for listening to us chatter about all things Big 12. We've enjoyed the heck out of this season. Keep following us on Twitter. Keep following us on anywhere you can get your podcast. We've got a couple more after dark shows coming up where we follow the primetime game and talk, live reaction, all things around the country. This is not it. This is absolutely not it. Bryce and I can plan on doing a few more shows this year, but also continuing this year after year.
I hope so.
We'll just get bigger and better.
Yeah.
So keep interacting with us. Send us stuff you want to talk about. We love hearing from you guys. Thank you again to our partner over at Bet River SportsBook. They've been awesome this entire year. Yeah. For number 14 on the field, but number 1 in your heart, that's Bryce Petty. For number 1 in your heart, over Mr. Bryce Petty, number 9, 8, 1, all these different numbers on the field. I'm Trevor Knight. That's another episode of the Trevor and Bryce Show. Sick 'em Bears.